everyone, welcome to Life with Kenz. I'm just going to talk a little bit today about mental health and just the importance of it. I know you all, if you follow me on Instagram, you really know that I have struggled with anxiety my whole life. So I still struggle. Today actually has been a day where I've been a little bit anxious, and there's been triggers, and I kind of can realize like what those triggers are now. But basically, I just wanted to just chat with you guys and let you know like you're not alone. So I'll give you a little bit of background on me and my history with anxiety, my history with depression. So, my whole life, I've always been a worrier. My mom would characterize me as an excessive worrier, even as a child. So, like, random things, I would just be like, Mom, what if this happens? And she's like, but that's like very unlikely. But I would just always struggle with like getting over that worry. And so as a kid, um, it was never like affecting my ability to function. I was always a very high functioning person, and I was always a high functioning anxious human being. Like even in college. But so I went to high school. I had been bullied here and there. And obviously, high school is just like a tough time for everybody. So honestly, like, it was like my least favorite time of my entire life. And I mean, I loved playing sports. I loved all of that stuff. I loved my friends, but I struggled a lot in high school. And it wasn't until I went into pharmacy school, and so like I said, I've been a high functioning anxious human being my whole life. So I got into pharmacy school right out of college. I mean, right out of high school. And I went to Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences in Boston, and I went directly into a 6 year pharmacy program. Going from a high school to a doctorate program is really intense, and you have to be able to learn how to cope with your emotions while also trying to learn all of these like all of these new things and trying to be like the best person that you can be. So basically, I went to college, and my anxiety started to affect the way I was feeling daily. So, like, the way I was showing up, I would feel so overwhelmed that I couldn't get out of bed, or I would feel so overwhelmed that I would just freak myself out. Like, guys, this affects every part of you. Like, there were times, so actually, I want to say, like, every single time it was finals week, it was also supposed to be my time of the month. And I would be so stressed that I would not get my period. And that is not okay. Like, that is so horrible. I would literally be so anxious. And I was like a clock at that point. Like, I was getting my period every week of my period week on my birth control. And then I would get it on the Wednesday. So, like, I knew Wednesday I'm getting my period. Finals week would come, and I would be so anxious that I would literally not get my period. And that's just like so insane to me. And then I'd finish my tests and I'd jump in the shower to like get ready to go home for the break or whatever, and I would just like the period would flow. It would just rush out of me, and it was like, okay, I'm making myself so anxious that my body isn't functioning the way it should be. That's not okay. And so it wasn't just that. It would be like other things like affecting my daily life, affecting my relationships with people, affecting the way I thought about myself. And so really like that's when I knew like, okay, I need to see somebody, see if I can get some medication to treat this anxiety, because it's also just if you don't know what it's like to have anxiety, I describe it as one of like the most uncomfortable feelings ever. Like it feels like there's someone like inside of you and they're just like shaking you. I don't know if that's like the right way to describe it, but it just feels like you have so much built up inside of you and you can't get it out. Um and honestly, it's a struggle, like, and it's also For some people, they'll say it feels like having like 17,000 tabs open in your mind and you can't close them all. That I feel that too sometimes. So, anyways, I went and got some medication. It took me about 9 trials to find the right medication that worked for me. Um, I just want to be like open about this. I mean, I'm a pharmacist, so I just understand how the drug works. So most anti-anxiety medications are also antidepressants, and it takes 6 to 8 weeks for you to feel the full effect of the medication. And so, if you start and you go like 3 weeks into your medication, you're like, this isn't helping, you haven't really given it enough of a shot. However, this really sucks for us people who suffer from mental illness, because it takes us almost 2 months to get stable on a medication to feel the effect, and that medication might not even be right for us. I wish there was some way for us to be able to determine ahead of time, um, like what medication would be best for us, but honestly, it's just so different for everybody. One of the medications I was on gave me like a really flat affect, and I didn't care about anything. I didn't want to talk to anybody, so that wasn't good. One of them gave like sexual side effects. Another one gave just really heightened anxiety. So honestly, it really does just depend on you as a person and what is going to work for you. So I'll never be that type of person that will share with everybody what medication I'm on, because I don't think that the medication and the dose that I'm on is a one size fits all for everybody. Um, but with that being said, I feel like for the longest time it's always been thought of as like a negative thing, like I'm anxious, I have anxiety, so it's negative. But I don't think, like, I'm not any less than anybody who doesn't have anxiety. I feel like I'm a pretty incredible human being and I can do amazing things. And just because I have anxiety doesn't mean that I can't do the things that I want to do. I may struggle a little bit more to get through things, but honestly, like, I don't know, I just think about it and I think about the way that I've been, I guess, viewed in certain situations, and I don't know if that's necessarily fair. I guess, we all, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, there's a stigma with mental health, and it's really not okay because, I mean, you could be somebody who has never struggled with anxiety, never struggled with depression, and then like pull yourself out. Um, I mean, sorry, you could literally be somebody that has never had anxiety or depression and then go through something in your life. Maybe a family member gets cancer or something traumatic, and that's going to cause you to go through a different season of life and cause a different mental health in your life. And so we need to be able to like cope with those types of changes in our life. I don't know. I have mainly always struggled with anxiety, but I've also had some depression. Being depressed is the hardest thing to go through so far that I've been through in my life. Like feeling like life would be better without you on this earth is one of the saddest things that somebody could ever experience. And I hope that if you are feeling that way, that you get help, you talk to somebody, you talk to me, you talk to a friend, you talk to a family member, you go to a therapist, you get some medication, because nothing's wrong with you. I understand where you're coming from and why you feel the things that you feel, but you also have to realize that you have a chemical imbalance in your brain and that's not helping the situation. And I don't know, I just think that it's a really hard thing to pull yourself out of that low, low, low by yourself. And so I don't know, I really just want to share this and hopefully this helps somebody. Um, I just think that we're all incredible and we all have like our own uniqueness and we all have our own abilities. We all have our own mental health issues, but that doesn't make us any less than. And we should be able to live this one life that we get and feel incredible about ourselves. And so, if you are feeling depressed or if you are feeling anxious, please reach out to me or reach out to a friend or family member or anybody, a therapist. I I don't know, like I guess going to a therapist is obviously like a lot better